I was asked to comment regarding the interest rates to see how they are reflecting on the rental market across Ontario. As we see the interest rates do come down, it's not really that much affecting the rental market yet because landlords are still either stuck in a high rate, or even if they're in a variable rate, it is obviously helping them, but not enough. Really what you're going to be able to start seeing is, I would say within the next 2 to 3 months, you'll start to see that landlords are going to become a lot more flexible on their rental rates. Reason being is, number one, rationally in their head, they're saying, okay, interest rates are continuing to come down. If my mortgage payments are going to come down, I'm in a variable. As the interest rate come down, even by 0.25 basis points or even a half basis point, obviously the greater, the better for them. They're able to work with the tenant a little bit more on the rental rates. But at the end of the day, yes, it is a renter's market and there is a huge amount of renters and there's a lot of supply at the same time. So you're having more of an issue with the amount of supply regardless of the interest rates. So there's so much supply on the market right now that you have big landlords. If you just go on Kijiji and just start scrolling on Kijiji, you'll notice that a lot of landlords are offering 2, 3, 4 months of free rent to occupy the properties. And when you have 2 or 3 months of free rent occupying the properties, and you're a single family landlord that has 1 or 2 units, you're forced to drop your price. So regardless of the interest rates, those don't really impact drastically on the single family landlord who has 1 or 2 properties. What's going to impact them is where you have the enterprise, the larger landlords, that where they're really dictating the market. When they're saying, I'll give you 3 or 4 months of free rent, the small mom and pop guys, they're forced to drop their rates down, or they're forced to give away rent in order to attract the tenants to their home. Otherwise, they just can't compete, which really is becoming a big issue for a lot of small landlords right now. So does the interest rate affect it? Not really, not that much. We're not seeing a huge impact in today's market right now from a big change from the last 2 quarters to this quarter. There was a major decrease in the tenants. So as a result, when you see a decrease in tenants by about 35 to 40%, 35 to 40% decrease, it's a huge amount. I've never seen this in 14 years other than with COVID. When COVID just hit, we had a major decline like that, but otherwise I've never seen a decline like this ever. So you are going to see a major impact with the rental rates dropping, but it has nothing to do with the interest rates. It has to do with the amount of demand. The demand's not there and the supply is there, which is forcing the rental rates to come down, which is great news for tenants, not that great news for landlords. It is putting a lot of landlords in bad situations, but they're being forced to sell their home because they just can't make ends meet, with their mortgage being at $3,000 and the rent being at $2,000. They just don't have that extra $1,000 a month to make ends meet.